This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.
Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Hi, this is David Patrick Wilson. I played Superman, Clark Kent, in the television production of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, enjoying every minute of being right here on the Krypton Report.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane.
Welcome to the Krypton Report podcast. I'm your host, Superman Blue Tyler, the man of tomorrow, and with me is Superman Red, Mr. James, Man of Steel Cole. Welcome, James.
Hey, how's it going, Tyler?
It's going good, man. I'm rocking my new Superman t-shirt Walmart find.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I gotta order another shirt, but I gotta buy it from, like Hot Topic or like DC vendor.
So I mean, it's official licensed. I've bought one from DC, yours that I got you from Hot Topic.
Nice.
And then, like I said, this one's the Walmart DC version.
Right.
So, and like, I actually like this one, feels better than the Hot Topic one, which is weird. I was a little disappointed in the Hot Topic one because like the t-shirt wasn't as soft as it usually is and everything.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Mine feels pretty good. It's not like it's not the softest t-shirt, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's also
right.
Definitely not a coarse t-shirt.
It's like my Man of Steel one that I originally bought from Hot Topic was really soft, and I loved it. Those were the days, man. Simpler times. All right, let's get into it. Did we mention yet that Mark Waid, I cannot remember, is doing a new Superboy comic book series or like limited run or whatever that's going to come out here in part of the Summer of Superman?
Do you know the title of the book? Because it sounds familiar.
Oh, Superboy. That's all I know. It's gonna be Mark
that's
Waid
all you
writing Superboy. Yep.
Oh,
that's all I
okay.
remember. And I was like, huh. I was like, oh, maybe I screwed up, but okay. But anyways, it is going to be the Summer of Superman for multiple reasons. One, these comics. Two, we have a new movie. Have you heard? New movie, James? And
yeah.
three, I will be directing alongside my mother-in-law, Jania, It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, the musical play at our local community theater.
Yes.
So
I will be taking a small vacation and having a nice trip down into Southern Ohio.
Yeah. What do you call it? I'm excited, nervous. We've been working on it. I have here, you can see, I'll pull it up here, my director's binder, and here is our like logo and everything for the play. I uploaded to our YouTube. One of our shorts is a little thing we filmed as a family to promote where we'll be doing that. So you'll see a lot of that coming on the podcast. I got some cool ideas for that to incorporate and do some podcast specials with the cast and excuse me, and everything just as that comes in. So that'll be a lot of fun. You'll see videos and clips and everything coming up here. But that's that news. And then I'm going to attempt something here a little bit different just because of our setup here. Testing out, for those who are looking, the free version of StreamYard. Because like I had talked about before, I just don't know like if I want to pay for the whole StreamYard thing right now. But is it worth it? Oh, it's not showing my screen. Hold on. Why is it not showing?
I mean, I'm seeing something here.
Yeah, you're seeing this, but it's not like live view tabs. Stop. Share this with streamers. Okay, hold on. We're working on this, people. Usually share Extra cameras. Share screen. There we go. I hit the wrong thing. Now we're rocking. Yeah. Okay. Ready? Here we go. The Superman official cookbook. Recipes from Smallville to the Hall of Justice and beyond. I am so curious about this because the first thing I thought about when I saw this pop up was Mark Waid's Birthright, where Superman is vegetarian. Next thing up here, Starfire is going to be Elseworlds, as are most of our family animated shows. So I guess Starfire is going to be a family animated show and will be an Elseworld from DC properties.
So that's not the Starfire that will appear in any other version.
Right.
You know, whether it be the Teen Titans movie we've heard that's being in development or what.
Let's see here. This picture, for some reason, doesn't want to open anymore. I have a picture right here. McFarlane's Silver Age Superman. Now I have another picture I'm going to share. I forgot to send to my computer. And we'll talk about it here shortly.
Yeah. The Silver Age figure looks pretty good.
It's a good looking figure. Here we go. So here is the Silver Age, the soon to release Kingdom Come Page Puncher, which I don't really understand the difference between and the Fleischer. The reason why I pull this up is they look like the exact same figure, especially the Kingdom Come and the Fleischer. Only difference is the head and the painted symbol. But look at the body, the stance, the belts, just the way it's painted. It looks like the same figure, just different color on the paint for the Silver Age and different head sculpts. And that's how they get us, because we will still buy it. But yeah, but we got that. All right, moving through. McFarlane, we got the Jeremy Irons Alfred figure released.
Oh man!
And what? That's Scooby-Doo right there. Crypto's out in the other room. But he's going to be with the Batmobile. Much like the Batman Forever had the Michael Gough Alfred figure, they're going to release the McFarlane Batmobile of BVS.
Yeah, I saw that, which looks awesome.
Which I'm going to have to buy. I haven't seen a picture of it yet. I just saw Alfred, which I will have to buy.
I didn't see the picture of Alfred. I only saw the picture of the Batmobile.
See, and then I didn't see the Batmobile. I just saw Alfred. I'll have to buy it for Jania, so we all have a Batmobile from McFarlane to do our Batmobile races.
There you go. Got to build yourself like a big derby ramp, like the Boy Scouts, like the Pinewood derbies.
Exactly.
Yeah, just set your Batmobiles on top.
This is the light that I bought for myself here to shine brightly at night. No collection is without.
I love how it gives off a yellow glow, kind of like a sun, sun type glow.
Hold on, I have it on right now. Hold on, like that's me basking in this light right now. Let's see. Moving along here. As predicted, hold on, what's this one? Yes, new reveal, the Batman vs Superman movie DC Alfred. Not showing all the accessories for this one today. They suggest this Alfred will come with the Batmobile, which we saw as a listing on Amazon. I didn't buy the tumbler because I really don't want to buy the tumbler unless I find it somewhere like really cheap. But we knew this was coming, guys. Coming to Blu-ray, Warner Brothers soon. The Adventures of Superman Complete Series and Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman Complete Series.
I love that.
Awesome. They're coming to Blu-ray. I will buy them eventually. Much like Smallville, I don't have on Blu-ray yet because I have all the DVDs. But I will get the
Right.
Blu-rays eventually.
Yeah,
the
I did
one
get
that
the Blu-ray of Smallville for Christmas. I might pick up one of those for myself.
I need the Blu-ray right now of season 2 of Superman and Lois. So I don't have that one. And I'm just gonna buy the full excuse me, the whole collection of Blu-ray of Krypton. Like I have season 1 on DVD, but I don't have season 2 on physical. So I'm just gonna buy the whole series Blu-ray
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, I bought the series. I bought that series on Blu-ray. I have I only have the first season of Lois and Clark on DVD. So the Blu-ray there is a good buy even after the sharp decline after into season 3. And then and I don't own any of the Adventures of Superman. So
yeah, it's a good watch.
Either one would be a great buy.
Maybe even a best buy.
Nah.
Speaking of some new merchandise,
they don't sell physical media anymore.
I know, screw them. Here's a look at the Superman Lego figure for the new films: the head, hair, cape, and body. Saw that online. Not a big Lego person, but I probably will buy that figure. And then the infamous lunchbox for the new Superman. Pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Tyler is keeping his eyes open at the store.
Dude, I do keep my eyes open at the store. Here, James Gunn released some pictures of behind the scenes of Lois and Mr. Terrific. Lois looks great. I love the high water pants. I like how she's wearing like the earth tones here. This is all from like behind the scenes stuff right here. So yeah, it's just the same shot from like 3 different angles. It's kind of neat. We're thinking we're in mid-March now. Maybe in May or in April we'll get a trailer, like a full like regular trailer. The last thing I have is here's the official Superman Day logo, and they're going back to celebrating Superman Day in April, which has been confusing because April was always Superman Day, based on when Action Comics was released. Then they did Superman Day in June for Man of Steel, and that's when DC declared Superman Day, and that's how we've been celebrating it a lot on the podcast. But there is a bunch of like Superman related like special issue books and stuff like that will be coming out on Superman Day. So that's something we have to keep our eyes out. Now, if this is going to play like my background people to my actual computer, let's see if this sound clip is going to play. So Sayla watched the 3-hour cut of Superman the movie with me, and this is Sayla right here.
Superman! He's reversing time!
Yeah.
He's reversing time! Oh, snap!
I will tell you that sitting there watching that film with her was awesome. So I watched it in 3 days in 3 different segments. She missed the first part, which was like Smallville and everything. And I'm going to go back and watch it with her. And I'm just going to watch the theatrical cut just for time and everything. But she is so pumped for next month. We soon too. Like she was like, when are you guys watching it, Dad? So she's in.
Awesome.
She is in.
That'll be great. That'll be a fun time.
So that's what I got for news. Now,
you know what? She got it though. She was on it. Like he's reversing time. Oh snap! She was like, she got it, dude. She knew what was happening.
It was great because the movie does hold up in a lot of ways for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
And then Solomon and I watched Mortal Kombat 95. And that movie's like 30 years old. And I was like, dang. And it holds up pretty well, except for the CG, like on a couple of characters and stuff. But other than that, like it still holds up well. So that was fun. But now comes to the time with silly songs with Larry. No, I'm just playing. It's time we're finishing up season 1 of Superboy. Superboy discussion of season. We got episode 25 and 26. So we're gonna jump into episode 25, Succubus. A beautiful vampire-like creature seeks to drain Superboy of his life force and seduces TJ as part of her plot. James.
Oh my goodness, what can I say? I've seen better acting in porn. That was a comment me and Jamie shared when we were watching this episode. That succubus, man, that actress, she lacked a lot of conviction at all. It was whatever the plot required of her, she could do in the moment.
I like the idea of it. Like, it's one of those that, man, like, I like the idea of this episode, you know? And it's like, if you had done this, I don't know, and we'll get into it more as we get into season 3. But like the 2-parters and stuff and longer episodes, because it just did not, got a 5.4. It just felt like something was missing, but it was directed by David Nutter. And writer Carrie Bates. It's just like, sometimes I think when the comic writers come in and write the show, there's a miss in the translation.
It's very interesting because when you say like written by a comic book writer, and I think about the episode, just the way it goes from part to part, very little explanation. Just you kind of just roll with what you're seeing the entire time. How fast it transitioned from one scene to the next, and one plot device to the next. It seemed very much like it was almost panel to panel, put it together off screen in between panels.
And I agree. It's revealed that TJ's initial stands for Trevor Jenkins.
But I mean, he was intense. He came into the newspaper, the Schuster newspaper, and slammed his pictures or whatever, his envelope down on the desk, and like scared the editor there. Then went over to Clark and punched him.
Yeah, and that was one of those like like if Clark had seen it, like, and like kind of was ready to, take the punch and like roll with it because he knew. Man. So yeah, it was good. For that. But yeah, there's just
we had a good time watching it because we were making fun of it the entire time.
Yeah, like 22 minutes. It's a really interesting story. Had this been like a 44-minute episode, I think you could have fleshed it out and made this into something more interesting. But, all right.
Well, the concept of a succubus is very common, is very tropey for TV shows. I mean, go through literally any one of those TV shows, probably up through any of the CW shows, you will find that trope in a lot of them. It's easily mined as and can be told and done well.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, it would be so interesting to kind of look at Superboy, Smallville, Lois and Clark, of how many episodes are very similar to being the same thing.
Yeah.
So, But her trying to steal Superboy's energy and all that stuff, it was okay. But all right,
It's you buy better.
the season finale, and it could almost be a series finale in a sense, because we've talked about how it's weird because seasons 1 and 2, there's similarities, but yet a disconnect. And then 3 and 4 their own thing, because eventually they do change the name of the show and everything. But this is called Luther Unleashed. Episode aired May 27th, 1989. Directed by David Nutter. Luther steals a powerful weapon developed by the army and prepares to sell it to a weapons dealer. Later, while Luther is working in the Schuster laboratory, he causes an explosion, and Superboy saves him by blowing the chemical fumes out of the building. This is our more traditional Superboy and Lex story. This is the last episode to have everybody pretty much but Stacy as Lana Lang.
She's the only person who moved forward.
And I think Michael Mano appears at the start of season 2. It's been a while since we watched season 2 as Leo. But yeah, this is Scott Wells is in as Lex Luthor, the Zach Morris Lex Luthor. Yeah,
man, he was something else in this episode. He went from 0 to 100 in like no time flat.
It's kind of crazy. He's only in 4 episodes of the entire first season as Lex.
I gotta give it to him in this one. Because I know we've said it. I know I've said it in earlier episodes. He is extremely monotone. And I don't know if he's trying to play himself as like a little more cool and passive with the character. But he was always very cheesy, but just like horrible at conveying any sort of emotion as to what was going on. And in this one, he expressed emotion, but it was pretty much only psychosis and rage. And he he turned that one up to 11 on this one.
Amen. But I mean, it is your classic Superboy story. So, he blames Superboy for his hair loss and everything, and he goes like he's trying to be good to Lana, and then he completely flips the script and becomes the evil jerk that everyone knew he was.
Yeah. No time at all, and he smacks her.
So, James, final thoughts on season 1 of Superboy?
I think that Superboy and Clark was a little better, from time to time. Honestly, I feel like Superboy's attitude in this season kind of reflects more of your golden age Superboy. Little more taking a little less shit from people.
That's how James
being a little more forceful, a little more straightforward, and kind of more emotional.
Yeah, I think he definitely falls into
letting the emotions dictate actions.
So yeah, I liked John Newton. I like Gerard more as we get into like seasons 3 and 4, more than what he did in season 2. So yeah,
Well, we did season 2, so
Yeah, and if people are wondering what happened, called DC Universe, we started a couple of us season 2, and then we both had season 2 bought because we were going to do season 1 on DC Universe, and then DC Universe went away, and then we had our DVDs, so we did season 2. Then got James a copy of season 1, so we went back and did season 1.
yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean, I missed. I missed DC.
It was on DC Universe and for a little while on Tubi.
Yeah,
and that was about all she wrote.
And we were trying to get back to using Tubi,
but that's why we went to Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, is when it left Tubi. Like, it was all a mess because we had to build up having our own collection, and that's something we're going to work on in the future. Is not doing stuff unless we have direct access to it and not relying on streamers.
Well, at that time, streaming was kind of like the it thing, lasted for a couple of years, and then it kind of boomed and tapered off. But that happens when you have most people stuck at home.
Yep. So, all right. Time to get into some comics. Today, we are entering our Loeb Kelly era. We are doing Superman 153, The Adventures of Superman 75, and Action Comics 762. Now, James, you posed a question to me, and I forgot to ask you about it. Was the comic that you were asking me about, was it on the app or not?
So I actually never discovered if the one I was asking you about was on the app.
I think it's
because when you gave me the list, I automatically went to them and actually downloaded each issue. And when I was reading them, the triangle went 5, 6, 8, 9 out of the 4 issues you had given me for the next section of the triangle era that we were reading.
And see, everything that I'm doing with our triangle era is based on bringing it forward from the app, and we know that the app has had issues where it's not having full stories, like it has stuff missing. So yeah, it's been an issue. But all right, which comic do you want to get into first?
My mom.
Well, the first issue there is the Superman 153.
All right, go ahead and boot that up. I forgot. I don't have it on my app or my tablet at the moment because I had to for some reason, okay, like my comics weren't uploading or downloading and showing what I was reading. It was like it just didn't show my history, so I was going back to comics and starting over. It's like, so I reinstalled my app. Well, when I did, guess what?
Oh,
I had to re-download everything, and I forgot to re-download anything. So this is Superman 153. Done with his lethal training at the side of young Mongol, Superman and the junior villain head into the depths of space to confront Imperiex. This enigmatic being is powerful enough to live in a black hole and all too ready to turn the Earth into one. Will Superman's new battle skills be enough to stop him? Can the Man of Steel trust his new ally? James Cole.
I mean, this is a cool book. I'm actually enjoying getting into this. I wanted to read some of the Imperiex stuff. The only thing that I had read of Imperiex previously was a issue in the Superman Doomsday Omnibus that took place during the Imperiex time, where Doomsday was involved.
We we were granted look at Imperiex in what do you call it? In Legion of Superheroes. So that was nice of our little introduction.
Yeah. Other than that, that's my second iteration, my second contact with Imperiex.
So this is set at Christmas. You want to take us through the comic?
Well, I mean, so yeah, it's set at Christmas. Lois is talking about her time at the paper with her and Perry. She's talking about his, some shorthand, her learning, coming up. Superman meets with Jimmy on top of the Daily Planet. It's nice he uses heat vision to warm him up a little bit. We know it's winter, so it's pretty cold up there. This is he's there to actually tell Jimmy that he is married, that Jimmy had figured it out. And just for people, and it's of course for everybody's safety, as to why and who it is. Mongol shows up, and because Jimmy had gotten the picture and he had hid that story away with a little Photoshop. But Mongol shows up and they leave for outer space to fly out and meet Imperiex. And he's like out past Saturn. They come into contact with a massive ship and Imperiex.
We don't want to forget our beef bouillon with ketchup. Beef bouillon with ketchup, James.
Yes, beef bouillon with ketchup.
The secret code word, basically, between Clark and Lois.
Yeah, just a code word to let her know that he is gone, but he'll be back. So Superman and Mongol are out there fighting Imperiex, and kind of taking it to him. He is mentioning how it's nothing, pretty much. Mongol says you've actually staggered him, sounding surprised. So don't let up for a moment. Jimmy delivers the message to Lois. So the battle rages on, and Superman, he cuts loose as he was, kind of being trained to do before this. And he's flying through and just destroying the ship. I mean, just threw it in and out. And Mongol turns on him as soon as the battle's over, and he was expecting it. So he took Mongol out with some well-placed pressure points, things he learned. He's learned from Aquaman and Batman and stuff. How to actually fight. And he lets Lobo take Mongol away. So I liked seeing Lobo show up in this in this issue. And then Superman returns home for Christmas. He's back with Lois, and the epilogue is it was kind of like he's like a drone. Is like a drone of Imperiex who shows up and is standing face to face with Imperiex and looks incredibly small to the real Imperiex.
Yep. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, okay.
I do know that with Imperiex, I figured that wasn't the end of the battle. And I have seen Imperiex, and yeah, I was like, that doesn't strike me as the same character.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to McGinnis art next. No, I love this art. This art's great, but I have a fondness for McGinnis's art. How cartoon and accentuated it all is.
Yeah.
He did Public Enemies with Loeb. He did Emperor Joker.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I know. It's just on the bottom of the next page.
Mhm.
Or on the page next, The City of Tomorrow and Ed McGuinness.
I know. All right. So the next one is The Adventures of Superman 75.
A Night at the Opera. La Morte du Luther.
This one was great just because, hold on, pulling it up here. Hey.
You're wrong. Right here. You're like that. You're like
Anyway,
that.
this one's great. I was going to try to. Here we go. 575.
You're like that.
That's why it wasn't coming up.
You're like that.
Will Luther die before the fat lady sings? It's a night at the opera for Mr. and Mrs. Clark Kent, but our heroes' heroic duties may ruin the evening for the couple. That is an attempt of Lex Luthor's life doesn't first. All right.
I beat my mom that hour.
What did Laura think of this one?
Actually, she just got a new learning device. It's a wooden trace thing for the letters. So you run the pen, you run the wooden pen in it, and just so you can keep learning the letters.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's excited to see that.
So
Or she was excited to show me that.
So this whole issue has Lois and Clark are going to the opera. They have tickets by Lex Luthor. He welcomes them. They have champagne and drinks and everything. They give Clark milk. I think it's weird. Like, I just have a weird thing with milk, being that it's biological in nature and like open and exposed. And a special glass of milk for Clark. And Lex basically spiked it to make Clark sick. So throughout the whole time, he'll have to keep running to the bathroom. And then Clark, being Superman, he knows it, but he has to play along and keep like disappearing as Clark, like he doesn't feel well. And he's actually out doing Superman stuff. A crash.
I like Lois was like, just order another drink and don't let Lex ruin our evening.
And he's kind of like, but it's just interesting because, Lex doesn't know he's Superman and everything, but he's giving him all the outs to be Superman. But then there's a guy that tries to kill Lex, and Lex, stops him. But of course, you find out it's somebody that Lex had paid to attempt on him. And of course, this one ends where it says "Happy Holidays" to everyone. So it was kind of a holiday issue as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, besides the Superman stuff, everything was played.
My tiny room, my back.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's just a night for kids to just not leave us alone.
Right.
My kids are pretty crazy. So
I mean, everything but the Superman stuff was orchestrated though.
Yes.
Assassination attempt at the opera. Of course, Clark being made to leave. It's Lex is trying to. He's talking about how like he's one of the only things he's ever regretted is like losing Lois. So it's almost like devious in a scumbag sort of way because she's there with her husband, and he's like literally trying to get Clark out of the way and orchestrating an assassination attempt to try and like gain favor. Which at this point she knows what kind of person he is, and she's got that kill any story deal with him going on too. So like she's being blackmailed as well.
She does.
Like it's pretty ridiculous.
Okay. So their next is Action Comics.
At least his big
62. So, Action Comics 762. This is called James Cole on Black Friday.
James Cole on Black Friday, huh? Yeah, I like this issue as well. I mean, we got Etrigan. It's Christmas, and Clark is shopping for Lois. She doesn't want anything that he can just like fly off and get. She doesn't want anything special from him in that regard. She just wants something nice from him, something that he can buy and pick out for her. So he goes shopping, and like it's funny how the malls on Christmas are like Black Friday type stuff. And
exactly, like it's not Black Friday, but it's Christmas and it's chaotic, and it's all I want.
Yeah, it's everybody's kind of selfish and poor attitudes around that time. Call it stress or whatever you'd like, but so
I like when we see all the Superman merchandise and stuff. All proceeds on Superman is donated to charity, which I like.
Yeah.
You know?
I do like that. I feel like if Superman was real, that would be the thing. You can sell licensed but charity.
The profits go to charity. You make
what you need to make, but the profits go to charity.
Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
And then we have somebody returning. One of our new favorite characters. Besides that, we have Etrigan the Demon as Santa, as a mall Santa. So let's just let that sink in. But our new favorite here in Canadora shows up with her mist. And uses that with Etrigan. We see our good pals Kyle, Rain, Green Lantern, and good old stretchy Plastic Man. But Etrigan, he's messing with stuff because of course it's magic. And Encantadora gets turned to a child. And it's just bizarre, zany craziness with Superman battling Etrigan. He eventually, I gotta love the rhyming Etrigan stuff.
Yeah, it's better than Bizarro's speech, man. I'll tell you what, it's more like poetry.
Yep. If you put them two in a comic together, I probably
Tyler taps out. What if we got a Bizarro Etrigan?
I challenge some writer out there to do it.
Absolutely.
But when it gets crazy when Clark like ingests all the mist and everything, because like then he goes from Superman to like Clark with this bag full of like dolls that are all the people that he takes all the red mist and sprays out into space, and then returns as regular old Superman. And Etrigan gives up and goes away. Then he's, talking to his newfound Encantadora, who's cold because, she wears clothes like the women on James's private island do. And he takes his cape off to wrap around her, and then she disappears, stealing his cape.
I know, right?
And then we see that she has a little son who wearing a Superman t-shirt, and she gives him the cape for Christmas. And then we see Lois and Clark together on Christmas. And then we see Etrigan kind of looking at Superman, talking about how his Christmas is and how it'll be nothing compared to Superman's Y2K, which is our next big arc coming up as we enter the year 2000.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy.
I know, right?
That's something. That's something big.
And for everyone listening out there, James, so here, the Y2K special that kicks off the issues for next month is not on the app, but all the issues are. So it's like a 5-comic arc, and the Y2K like special number 1 that kicks it off. And that's one of those things I always hate sometimes in comics when they do like an arc, but there's always a one shot that starts it.
Right.
And
yeah, they do that a lot.
So yeah, I think it might be I think it's under there as part of a graphic novel. So if I remember right. So but it's yeah. But that's all we got for today. Not gonna be a long episode. Usually this episode would be attached. Oh wait, never mind. Well, we'll say this. Usually we attach what Jania reviews, but we're a little behind. This month's been a little hard on us. With a lot going on with her next review. So that'll be coming later this month, or maybe we'll have 2 next month. But we usually do our current comics. Current comics to discuss. Okay. Let's pull this up here. Hold on.
Oh man, current comics, huh? The only current comic that I read, because I haven't even gotten to read the newest Action, but I did read the Absolute Superman #4.
Well, hold on to that one.
Yeah, we were gonna wait for the first arc on that one to kind of wrap up.
The ones that I have, did you read the Lex Luthor special?
I did read the Lex Luthor special. I read that one a while back.
So we'll talk about that one. This one, the Lex Luthor special, talks about the music being tied to memory. And they're trying to, Mr. Holt, Goodall, is trying to find a way into the Elseworld, which is the Absolute universe, which I kind of think is confusing, and maybe it should be called like the Absolute universe or something. And they talk about how Luthor probably knows the key, just something that him and Brainiac were working on. And this issue ties a lot into, I was telling Jania, I've been watching Severance on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of that because when we get this scene where Mercy and Luthor are walking through the park and he gets attacked and people start screaming at Lex Luthor, and he basically, Superman comes to help him, and Luthor's like, it's my fault. How can these people, like, it's my fault. I'm not that man. And we kind of see who Luther is. The old Lex, and it really asks the question of, are we who we are because of our memories and our experiences? If I didn't have my memories of who I am, what kind of person would I be? And you have a Lex telling Mercy about how he used to play piano and how his dad would come home drunk and abuse his mom, and he would play, and how he used to be able to, and then how he made this special radio tower emitter thing. And he says, Dad, I needed a radio wave emitter. Look, it's a sound device that can send music into space at special signals that only some people can hear. I made it for you. And in the flashback, and then there's a great conversation between Superman and Lex, where he's basically telling Lex, you don't want to remember. And he says, no, I don't want to be that version of Lex ever again. He says, even if it helps save lives. You tell me, Superman, that old version of Lex, he tried to kill you countless times. He hurt so many people. Maybe I am the better man. And he says, I don't know how you could have ever have believed in me. And Superman points out, you said me, not him. Luthor says, here's a question for you, Superman. Do you believe the world is a better place with Lex Luthor in it? And he pauses. And Superman says, you're right. I shouldn't be pushing you like this. It's your choice. And then Lex walks away from Mercy. And then we go back to a night where young Lex with his emitter goes and he plays the music from his emitter. He's playing the piano and he's using his emitter, and it cuts to the Kens trying to put Clark to sleep, and they can't, and he's crying, but he hears that music and it soothes him to sleep, and you just see Lex playing and the Kens happy that Clark's asleep. And then the last part is Lex starts playing that music and Clark says he remembers. And it says to be continued in Superman 24.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lionel in one of the flashbacks has a bit of a John Glover look to him a little bit.
Yeah, he does. And I don't even think Superman 23's come out yet. I think the last one we had was Superman 22, which was Planet Doomsday. Did we talk about Planet Doomsday? Because when they show up and Clark confronts all of them, and no, I don't think we did, because basically you have the aftermath attacking, and they're going after Doomsday, and you have, Lex. Lex is there, Lena, Supergirl, and you have Supergirl where Doomsday is. They want Doomsday, and we have the Super Family trying to, prevent Doomsday from being taken. He's under the Black Mercy, because if they get him out, he may never go back under the Black Mercy again. And what we have here at the end is the most unpredicted thing ever. Superman and Doomsday teamed up fighting. And of course, Superman's getting his high blood pressure because of the red and everything. Jimmy's got a picture
of the red kryptonite infection.
Mm-hmm. And then the aftermath, like Fleeter is like this energy power being, and Lois is going to stop him. She says no. And then all of a sudden Pierce, the time trapper. It says next issue, the Trapper versus Superwoman, which we know the time trapper is like Doomsday from the future.
Yeah. Yeah, the immortal Doomsday from the future who is super intelligent and can travel through time.
Did you happen to reach Shazam 20?
No. No, not yet. Why?
Dang it.
Oh
Because that's on here because it has a crossover with John Kent.
man.
So we'll save that for next time. You need to go read that book.
Yeah.
Um,
I have it right here.
read that one. We'll save it for next time because I think it really does open up a lot for the discussion. And the only other one I have for current books is where'd it go? What? How did it reorder my downloads? Weird. Action Comics 1083. Did you read that one?
No, that's the action that I haven't read yet.
All right, so we'll save that one then. So we're not getting too far ahead of each other. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
I would say you're plenty far ahead of me on everything right now. I haven't gotten to read that much.
All I do is Wednesdays, I download all the new ones to my tablet, and then I read at least 1 to 2 issues a night right before bed, or whatever the week is.
Right.
So, but all right, so that's some current comics in review. We'll throw in some more at our next month. We'll have some.
Oh yeah. I'll read a few.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, guys. Remember, look up in the sky.
I am Brian Peters, the creator and host of Gravely Amusing. For the past 30 years, I've studied the history of gods and monsters in pop culture and our world. As a student of theology and history, I've tried to understand evil and its impact on us. As a writer, I've tried to share this knowledge. As a comedian, I've tried to make people laugh as I do it. But as a man-child, I'm still that scared 7-year-old boy. Join me as I share the history of horror and sci-fi, discuss classic and modern pop culture, and share a creepy story or two. This podcast may scare you, it may horrify you, or it may leave you gravely amused. Listen to Gravely Amusing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Twitter at gravely_amusing or on TikTok at Gravely Amusing.
Look up in the sky.